I'm Kosta from Car Focus, where we help you decide what car you want to buy. Today we're looking at the Kia Seltos and we're going to be doing a walkthrough. Now we do cover quite a lot in these videos, so don't forget to check the description below and skip ahead to the chapter that interests you. The Kia Seltos comes in a variety of colors and it comes in a 2-engine setup or drivetrain setup, that being a 2-liter CVT gearbox, normally aspirated all-wheel drive version, or a 1.6-liter turbo all-wheel drive in an 8-speed automatic, which is the one we've got here today. In addition to the 2 drivetrain options, you also get 4 trim level options. Those are S, the Sport Plus, and the GT line. The one we have here today is the GT line. Now those 4 trim options are all available if you go for the 2-liter front-wheel drive 8-speed CVT. However, if you go for the 1.6-liter turbo, you can only get the Sport Plus or the GT line. So let's have a closer look. Looking at the front of the vehicle and the styling, now this is the second version of the Kia Seltos in Australia. It does replace the one that was originally launched back in 2019, I think it was. And they've done quite a bit with the styling, predominantly this silver line that runs all the way across the top, which is in the same similar finish to their new Kia logo that they introduced. That then wraps in to more silver around the front grille and again at the bottom of the vehicle. So you get these 3 different tiers of it and it really comes together nicely. They've also got a splash of piano black running all the way through the front grille to finish that off. And then that piano black kind of continues on. If you go with a dual paint option like we have here today, it continues on to the roof and the pillars, giving you that nice split between the color and the black. You do get the front park sensors running through there. This one has been done with a slimline number plate, which I think does add a little bit to the styling of the vehicle. Your built-in radar and forward collision warning systems and sensors all tucked in very neatly over there. LED headlights, LED fog lights with LED daytime running lights all the way through the GT line that we have here today. And what I'm starting to see a lot more of in modern styling, the front headlights tend to run quite a ways across the front grille. Looking under the bonnet, everything is pretty neat and tidy. You've got most of your fluid level bottles situated on the left hand side here. Really those are the only ones you'd have to worry about checking up and topping up. This one does have the 1.6-liter turbo GDI. GDI stands for gasoline direct injection, and it really is the pinnacle of petrol engines. It was really the last big hurrah in terms of technological development of the internal combustion engine. So you're definitely getting some of the latest and greatest internal combustion engine technology with this Kia Seltos. The 2 engine options, as we mentioned earlier, is the 2-liter normally aspirated, which produces 110 kilowatts and 180 Newton meters. The one we have here today is the 1.6-liter turbo. That one produces 146 kilowatts and 265 Newton meters. You'd think that the smaller engine is the less powerful one, but it really isn't. The 1.6 is a GDI and it's also turbocharged, where the 2-liter is an MPI and it's not turbocharged. Looking at the side styling, this car's got an 18-inch alloy wheel. The 2 sport versions, Sport and Sport Plus, have a 17-inch alloy, and the S comes in a 16-inch alloy. There's a lot of use of black color and a splash of silver running through the car. Just enough, I think, without it being too much. There's really only this one silver styling line running through there. And then with the dual tone, you get a lot of piano black and a black roof and a black trim finish at the bottom that just marries it all up. That same black sweeps over the arches too, just to give you that nice finish to the black trim. Privacy glass on the rear windows, so it is blacked out and a fair bit darker than the front windows. You do have proximity key sensors as well as color-coded handles so that you keep that same color running all the way through the side of the body of the car. The color we have here today is Pluton Blue with black roof. The roof rails are finished in the same brushed silver as the rest of the vehicle and just tie in the styling really nicely. Staying with the design, it all comes and flows in really neatly at the back with the side reflector jutting out just a little bit and the rest of the silver lines coming and almost meeting at the back, and the slight little flick here for the rear roof rail which ties in with the rear spoiler. Looking at the fuel, this one is marked to take 91 RON fuel, as well as the E5 and E10 fuels that are available in Australia. So from there, I'm assuming that the 2-liter can also take 91 RON because it's a slightly less advanced engine than the 1.6 turbo. The back of the vehicle continues on with those same colors, the silver, the black, the Pluton Blue, except here we do get a splash of red that joins the 2 rear tail lights and the Kia logo in brushed aluminium sitting prominently right in the middle there. Your rear spoiler jutting out, high-mounted stoplight and dolphin fin aerial, making it nice and easy through the car washes. If you option for the 1.6-liter turbo engine, it only comes in all-wheel drive and gets the 4X badge just there, as well as the Seltos badge on this side. Rear LED tail lights finish off the rear styling of the Seltos. So reverse camera and power tailgate. Looking at the proximity key, Kia has moved most of the buttons down the side of the key. So you've got your lock unlock buttons at the top. You've got your hold to start button, so these cars can be started remotely from the key, and you've got your hold to release your power tailgate as well. Inside the boot of the vehicle, it is a pretty big boot. It does give you a flat loading area. You only have one setting for the boot, and that's because you get a full-size spare wheel, which I like. So in the S, you get a space saver. In the Sport, Sport Plus, and GT line, you get a full-size spare wheel with a 5th alloy. So if you ever need to change over to your spare, you carry on driving like normal, and it doesn't even look like a spare. To access it, you remove this base of the boot like that. Once removed, you got your tools that sit in the wheel well, which are easy to remove, and once removed, you can access the spare wheel. A traditional parcel shelf that is also ribbed so that it gives it rigidity and makes it more comfortable with loading some items on the top. It can take a little bit more weight. Easy to remove, so you just unclip it like that, and to get it out, you just pull it slightly forward and out, revealing your 60-40 split of the rear seats. And those again are easy to release. You just lift this button here and push it forward, and once they are flattened out, you get a nice flat loading area. So looking at the rear of the vehicle, the driver's seat is in my driving position. I've got a fair bit of leg room here, good knee room, good foot room underneath here as well. You've got the same silver piano black finish that they've used all over the outside of the car. They've brought some of that into the inside of the car, and you can see it on the doors. You've got your Bose sound system and speakers come in here. You've got a coat hanging rail, rear air vents, 2 USB fast charge points for both the rear passengers, and you've also got a little storage compartment at the bottom there. The upholstery is a leather look finish with just a little bit of stitching running through there and a little bit of perforation in the seats just to break up that monotonous black. The center armrest folds out, has got enough room for both arms, and it's got 2 cup holders in there as well, and a rear seat pocket behind the passenger seat but not the driver's. Looking at the center console, you've got this styling cue that runs down the side just on the passenger side. This has been designed quite well. They've created a bit of a lip through here, which gives this section the feel when you're looking at it from here that it's kind of floating, even though it's not. So it just breaks it up really nicely between the front and the center section of the console. The side of the vehicle is well designed, well put together, angled out this way. A neat little glove box just underneath there that is also lit. The same seat finish as we saw in the rear of the vehicle carries on to the front, so no difference between front and rear. And lastly, you do have a front passenger electric seats. Electric windows with one-touch operation for the driver, central locking, your folding mirrors and adjusting electric mirrors. You've also got memory seats, so 2-position memory seat settings there in this particular Seltos, and the speakers. So you've got a tweeter there and you've got the main speaker there. They are Bose speakers, and they do have this kind of like crushed look, as if somebody's just punched them in and crushed them. Pretty unique looking and something different. Height adjustable headlights that can be tilted to compensate for a heavy load in the rear of the vehicle. Rear stat switch for brightening and dimming the dash displays. This is your HUD, your heads-up display. You can activate it from here. Your electronic stability program can be deactivated from there, and your power tailgate can be open and closed using this button by holding it down. Right, so looking at the steering wheel, we've got a leather finished steering wheel on the GT line. We've got it squared off at the bottom with just a hint of piano black running through here, and some silver trims around the controllers on left and right, as well as the brushed aluminium Kia logo in the center. At the top here, we've got your voice commands. This is your mode settings that can be adjusted from there. This is your radio modes so that you can flip through those. Volume controls, track search or radio search track controller over there. Your phone button to answer or hang up your mobile phone or Bluetooth connected phone. And this is your customizable button, as Kias tend to always have a button that you can actually set its purpose yourself through the onboard computer. On this side, you got your trip computer menu button. You got your cruise control settings, so you can activate your smart cruise over there. You can then set, reset and adjust your speeds and pause it there. This is your lane departure warning system, and that is to set your following distance for your smart cruise. 2 digital displays, the main instrument cluster there and your other control there. You've also got your heads-up display. A traditional setup, although it is all digital, speedometers, rev counters. Over here you've got your smart cruise settings in the middle, the position of your gear shifter there, your speed sign recognition, auto hold, all the basic setups that you'd expect to find. You've also got these menu buttons that you can scroll through at the top. So looking at the center display here, you've got the time settings and your temperature and city settings. If you scroll to the right here, you get all your menu options, and you've got another screen there as well. You can also touch and hold to move these icons around and put them in different positions. Like that. You've got the main menu button at the top and your home button right next to it. You've also got this little menu button which allows you to do display off, which gives you a nice night vision driving, so just the time, date and all blacked out. You touch it anywhere to reactivate it. So it's got wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Your two center air vents situated just there. You can open and close them using this. And here you've got your aircon controllers, so your fan speeds, all your normal direction flow indicators. Your aircon, it does also have auto with a auto 3-speed setting automatic. And over here you can switch it off. Your climate control is activated from there, so it's not dual zone. And underneath here is all your different buttons that you can use to actually access that top digital display. You can access it using these analog buttons just here. And the same unique button that was on the steering wheel, the star button, also exists at the bottom. And once you press it here, on the top screen there, it tells you what you can set it to. You can set it to quiet mode, display on, off, sound, mood lamps, information, or you can just have it doing nothing. Volume controls and power buttons. For those of you who tuned in for my favorite feature, it's this. The wireless phone charger is actually situated just in there, and it sits really nicely in its own dedicated non-slip section, and that little light comes on to let you know that your phone's wirelessly charging. I like that they've moved it there, because normally it's sitting over there, and essentially what would happen when it's sitting over there, you would put your phone down, and then if you had keys or anything, you'd have to put the keys on top of your phone or waste the rest of that space. So that's a real clever use of that space. You've also got your USB-C, USB-A and your 12-volt charging point just there. Drive modes can be set over here. You've got Eco, Normal and Sport, and you just scroll through that to change them. Your heated and ventilated front seats, so heated at the top with 3 different settings, ventilated at the bottom with 3 different settings. Your park cameras that can be activated from here, and your heated steering wheel just there. Traditional gear shifter with park, reverse, neutral, drive and sport mode, so you just shift it into sport mode. On that side you've got your 4-wheel drive lock. That's if you opt in for the 1.6 litre turbo, which only comes in all-wheel drive, so that gets the all-wheel drive lock, the front passenger heated seats, and then your hill descent assist and your park sensors can be activated and deactivated just there. Electric park brake with auto hold. A little storage compartment just there, and 2 cup holders there and there with a nice brake in the middle that allows you to fit a longer item. Center armrest can be released from there to give you a storage compartment. That was our car focus walkthrough on the Kia Seltos. If there's any other vehicles that you'd like us to do a walkthrough, leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching.